how do you handle opinion-based decisions in a highly collaborative environment? Do you appreciate them or avoid them? Data decisions only?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I mean, I love data. I love data. To really stress how much I love data, my wife leads data teams. And I met her working where she was the data analyst on my product team that I worked with.
I love it.
So I love data.
Nice.
I think there can be I think you can, if you're only making data decisions, it can lead to some blind spots. So I like to be a little bit more data informed. I generally hate surprises, kind of period. And whether they're good or bad. And so the reason why I might run experiments, the reason why I might do research on something is to not be surprised, to better understand what I'm doing, what I'm driving towards, right? So I data is powerful, and I think that's both quant and qual. And in the best experiences, one should be feeding the other with how we think about studies and experiments. I mean, every place that I've worked has had highly opinionated product decisions, strategies, ideas. So if you can find a place that doesn't have it, please let me know. But otherwise, I'm just going to accept it as a given, right? And so I think they exist. What I also want to believe is that if everyone is on the same page about the outcomes that we're trying to achieve, that we should be relatively agnostic about how we accomplish them. So if the CEO has a particular point of view on something that's very opinionated on how he thinks that should be done, in my experience, you can't dismiss that. You have to hear that, right? You have to incorporate it either literally or spiritually in your work. Even if you feel like it might be missing the mark on something, if it doesn't lead to the outcome, well, then you'll work on something. You'll take another swing at something else.
Sure.
It's very hard to argue with people's opinions.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So let's try to get to a place where it's more evidence-based.
Okay.
Which is maybe lowercase d, not uppercase d data, but again, if we're aligned, if we have shared assumptions of what we're trying to achieve, that's going to do the heavy lifting on evaluating if something's working.
Yeah.
So then it just becomes a sequencing order, right? Are we going to do this opinionated idea that I think is dog shit first, or are we going to do some bottoms up that the team has been working on and crafting on and and that might be a conversation I have with the CEO. Hey man, it's your company.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want. Let me tell you, right? You're coming at it from a different point of view as this person. And at the end of the day, we're going to do whatever is going to work for our customers because we're aligned on what our goal is, right? So this might be an opportunity where we could go bottoms up here, throw the team a bone, let them do theirs first. But you're keeping score on what's working, what's not working.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If it doesn't work, we'll try something else. Maybe, or if you're really adamant that this is not a time for us to deviate and we got, okay, we can do that. But I'm telling you, if we always make decisions that way, that's going to undermine the team.
Right. Eventually. Yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
Good point on that.
When we talk with clients, sometimes it's we try to avoid having just an opinion as a reason why to do something. We try to tell stories, right? So it's in the past, if a decision like this is being made, this is what the outcome tends to be. Yeah. You can't really argue with facts, right? These are stories, these are anecdotes, these are things that have happened versus we don't think that's a great idea because we think this will probably happen, right?
Yeah.
But it's actually having evidence.
So true.
Yeah, exactly.
I've also like going back to CEOs with strong opinions. A lot of times too, when that CEO has been the founder, it's actually not an opinion.
Right.
That they actually do have evidence for why they think that is the right approach. What they haven't done is communicate that.
Yeah.
So it's coming across as this arbitrary idea, right? Because they see something that I don't see, that the team doesn't see. And they see that something because they were working on this idea 5 years before we even joined the company. Talking to customers, and so it's like, it's like, you feel very passionate about this idea. Like, help me understand that more.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like the question you were asking earlier. What am I missing? Like,
what am I missing? I know I'm missing something.
Yeah.
You're not a dum-dum. You're very passionate about this idea. So clearly, I'm missing something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe there's a way I can feed that to the team so it's not your idea versus their idea. That they kind of come to that